League 2 playoff chat now on wheelerbetting.co.uk. Mark O'Hare joining me, Chris Graham, for a lovely wee chat about the playoffs. And we'll start with the favourites in League 2, and that, of course, is Fleetwood, Mark, who Graham Alexander, the manager, had a big budget at the start of the campaign, but they've not gone up automatically. They're in the playoffs. They've got a big chance. They're 74, really strong favourites. They deserve to be strong favourites.
I don't think so. I think like Posh and QPR in the other two leagues, they've got the potential to go the whole way. Certainly the firepower as well, but I just think there's too many questions that need to be answered with Fleetwood to be trusted at 7-4, such a short price to get through 3 games here. Graham Alexander, you mentioned the big budget. I think a little bit of inexperience came into play. His team couldn't stay on the right track for long enough. Started the season with 7 wins from 10, very well. Finished with 22 wins from 46. Equal split of home and away wins. Their away record is actually the 3rd best in the division, which should keep them in good stead. But 7 wins from their final 20 games ultimately proved costly. 1-6 drew, 6 lost 2 in their final 14. You know, it was that kind of up and down, kind of not really doing much sort of season for Fleetwood. They failed to beat a team in the top 8 at home as well this season, which has got to count against them. And although they've got an attack which is more than capable of scoring goals, they're going to come up against a really solid York defence in the semi-final. Could be found out there. Well capable of scoring goals, I said, of course, at home. They were their games average over 3 goals a game, highest in the league. Away from home, they're a real under 2.5 team with a solid defence. I think it's the best or the second best away defence in the league as well. But all in all, I just think there's too many things going against Fleetwood here to even consider them at 7-4.
It's a short price, that's for sure. Next up, second favourites, and for me, the team of this 4 are phenomenal. You go back to Christmas time, and these boys were in the bottom 3 in the division. A tremendous second half of the campaign. York.
Yeah, York. What was it? They're sitting 22nd at Boxing Day. Won 4 of the 23, but since then they won 14 of 23, keeping 16 clean sheets. And finished quite comfortably in 7th place as well. The most intriguing team of the 4, not lost since January when they were beaten by Chesterfield. 1-11, drawn 6 since then. Trends on their side too. 3 of the last 4 winners in League 2 have finished 7th. And I think at home they've managed 7 clean sheets from 9. Their final game against Scunthorpe was the only match they failed to score. They scored 2 goals or more since mid-March, which is a slight concern when they could come into a kind of battle against Fleetwood of who's going to score the most goals, or at least that's how Fleetwood would like to approach the game. But I think they've leaked just 2 in their previous 15 before Scunthorpe, which just shows the strength of that defence. 22 clean sheets all season. The home defence, of course, is very strong, but away they kept 6 clean sheets and 7 as well. I think that incredible defensive record should stand them in good stead. And I think they're the value choice in the semi-final against Fleetwood.
Absolutely. The only reason I don't want York to get promoted to the playoffs, and I'll be honest with you, Mark, I'm a bitter man. Ryan Bowman, who plays for York, I think he's a midfielder, is he? He followed us, We Love Betting, and then unfollowed us a day later. So for that reason, I don't want York to get promoted. So Ryan, if you're watching, mate, that was bad crack. Anyway, Southend, a team I've been phenomenally unimpressed by this season. Good start to the campaign, and then they've just been very, very average since 3-1. They go up with Sporting Bet. Mark, your thoughts on Southend?
I like Southend, to be honest, which is a complete polar opposite to what I said in August. And we spoke about them for relegation, and Phil Brown was part of that reason and completely proved me wrong. I think they've won 3 of the last 4 to end the season, keeping clean sheets in those 3 wins as well. Going back further, it's 7 clean sheets and 10. They won 6 of the last 8 as well. They've got the league's best defence. The form does come in clusters as well. At one stage they failed to win in 12 games, but still managed a comfortable playoff position. They've got a young goalkeeper who's being raved about, a real solid defence. It's a respectable record against their top teams as well, winning 5 of 7 at home against the top 8 and winning 2, drawing 3, losing 1 away to the top 7. Very respectable records there. The best home record out of the playoff sides as well, winning 11, only losing 5. Players who can score goals. What else have I got down here? And surprisingly, they scored in all but 3 away games, where a lot of people credit their home record as being the key bedrock for their season. And of course, they beat Burton 1-0 home and away, including last weekend, before going into playoffs to play them. I think they're very good value at 3-1.
Wow, Mark, very keen on Southend. Very keen on Southend. I tell you what I'm keen on. Gary Rowett's beard. That man can really rock a beard like Andre Villas-Boas, probably the second best beard in English football this season. He's the manager of Burton Albion, of course, and they take on Southend here. Burton, a team, I think I'm right in saying, second consecutive year in the playoffs, marking it. Is this the year they go up?
I don't think so, Chris. I had Manty Post. I like Burton a lot, but Gary Rowett seemed to transform their team even after about 8 games from a real kind of free-flowing, quite attack-based, always good for overs, into this really sort of safety approach team. They only managed 47 goals all season, which is only worse than the bottom 4 in League Two, and that's surely going to be an issue when they come against Southend, who is so solid in defence. At the Pirelli, they ended strongly, winning 9 and only losing 2 of their 15. But on the road, they really struggled, winning 2 of the last 14. They have got the best away defence, but then they scored fewer goals than Torquay on their travels as well. So you've got to weigh those two sort of stats up against each other when they're on their travels. They have got match winners in their team. Billy Key, of course, will probably be the most well-known of those, but their 2014 record doesn't fill me with confidence, winning 7 of 22 games. Recent form of 1-1, drawn 1, lost 3, failing to score in 6 of the last 11 as well. There's a lot of things against them here which really don't inspire me. I think their lack of punch is going to come up short when they come up against Southend.
Oh well, Mark, there's a fiver, pal. Did you see that? Who is your League Two fiver on?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Southend at 3-1.
Southend for Mark in the League Two playoffs.